Hi guys, I am back with days 14 through 16, and for this page, I am working on day number 14, and I'm using the same paper pad and everything that I've been using throughout this album, and I decided to pull this 3x4 journaling card, and I'm going to cut down my photo and fit that in those little line spaces because I like the frame of the gold foil that's on this particular card. So anyway, as I am kind of gluing that down, did want to say that I know in my last video I mentioned that I was trying to decide if I wanted to post a video with days 14 and 16, but I figured I would. I had some time this morning to do a couple voiceovers, so I just thought I'd get them up. So you should have seen yesterday's video on Saturday, and then today is Sunday. I will be adding this on Sunday, so you kind of have a two day in a row video streak, and then I think the rest of it is going to be a flip through of the album if you are interested. So make sure you thumbs up this video and leave me a comment below if you would like to have a flip through of the completed album with the remaining pages, and then that way I will post that hopefully sooner than later, and then hopefully I'm anticipating getting some work done in my December daily, and I will be able to post some of those videos as well. So please let me know in the comments below kind of what you guys like. Do you guys like December daily? Do you guys do December daily? Have you done this project album here, like the 30 Days of Thankful or Thankful 30? If you have, leave a link below. I'd love to see and go to your social media, or if you can post it on my Facebook page, that would be awesome too. I believe my Facebook page allows people to post on there. If not, you can shoot me an email and let me know. I will definitely like to see what you guys have come up with if you did this project. And if you're doing December daily or you're going to be doing it, leave that in the comments below as well. And it will help me if you guys want to see videos of December daily and things like that. The more feedback I get from you guys, the better it is. Then I know what you guys want to see. So anyway, going back to this album, again, this is my day 14, and I am getting some of that copper thread out. I love that copper thread, and I wanted to use some of it as like kind of a nest on the page, and I love the texture of the thread on these little pages. It just adds a lot to it. So I put a little bit of it on the right and the left hand side, and then I matted my photo as well. So the photo, like I talked about earlier, is matted on that 3x4 journaling card, and then I wanted it a little bit more, so I took that pattern paper with the acorns and the oak leaves, and I added the photo there and then ripped one of the edges because I like the texture of that. And to even add more texture between the rip paper and the thread, I am adding this torn washi tape, and I just really like the contrast of the blue with the brown, and the torn edge just gives it that added texture. So I'm also going to be playing with that blue flag that came from the Feed Your Craft chipboard sheet, and it's a really thin chipboard, and it's perfect for these albums. And then on the right hand side, I already pretty much did most of the things I was going to do to the journaling card, but basically I added a little punched scallop of the gold foil to mimic the gold foil like filigree on the left side, and then I added some of the the thread, and then one of those homemade embellishments. If you guys want to see the homemade embellishments that I've made, you can go over to my 30 Days of Thankfulness playlist, and in there is the embellishment video. It should be, I think, the second or third video possibly in the playlist, but it's in there if you guys want to see kind of how I made those. And really, it doesn't have to be fall embellishments. You can do this for anything. So if you haven't already started your December daily album, or you're really not feeling like doing the album itself, the embellishments are really fun. It's something fun to just kind of make when you don't want to think too much about being creative, or you don't want to journal because that takes too much thought. You just want to do something, but nothing that's really intense. You can make some of these little embellishment clusters that you can use in your mini albums or your regular albums or your project life or anything like that. So now I'm just finishing this up. I am going to add a date stamp, again using that foam piece that I've been using throughout kind of the album. This just makes sure that I can stamp a nice clean image because there is a lot of bulk behind the album. So now I'm working on this day number 15. This is a day that I captured the sunset, and I had it was in a parking lot, so it wasn't the most attractive photo. So I'm trying to trim the photo and then add the embellishments strategically. Oh, and then I guess I can tell you this. So on there, if you saw that, I have a little bitty tiny line running through my photo. I was so sad. I don't know what happened to my little Canon selfie printer. I don't know if something got stuck in the printer or what, but it ended up adding this line, and I tried everything. I went online, I got the canned air, I tried to use alcohol cotton swab to try to clean the printer head. I tried everything. I could not get it to work. I was so sad, and I wasn't done with this project, and I knew December Daily was coming up, and it's Christmas time, so we're buying Christmas presents for everybody else, and I was frantic. And for these daily albums, I know some people will go and order their photos in chunks and then do it that way, but for these, I have to have a printer at home or I just won't happen. I'll wait too long, then I'll have too much to do, too much to catch up on, and just won't do it. So I need something at home to print photos in order for these little daily albums to work. So I broke down on not Black for Monday, Cyber Monday, and found, what is it called? An Epson PictureMate printer. So that's what I ended up doing. But anyway, back to this layout. What I was saying earlier is that picture is from a parking lot, so it's not the most attractive picture. So I'm strategically putting these pieces of paper, these embellishments, on the photo to kind of hide the fact that it is the parking lot, and then you just focus on the sky. This burlap was some in a pad that I got at Joann's. It was on clearance. It's some of the same burlap that I used to make some of the embellishments on the mini album, the cover. But I love it. It is so cool. It's like paper backed, and then you can trim it out, and then I love the fact that you can pull out the pieces of string and then make that like tattered edge. I really like how that looks. So I ended up doing that because I liked the texture. And then I strategically placed these pieces of paper like I was mentioning, and then I just used my stapler. With it being that burlap, I wasn't sure how well it was going to stick, so I just took my tiny attacher and just stapled those pieces all together, so now it's one big unit. I'm going to take some washi tape, add a little bit more texture to this, and I really like the blue contrast. This is one of my favorite washis I think I have. It's this floral one that I've been using throughout the album. It's just really pretty and cute, and I like the color combination. It's got blue and some like golden yellows and things on it. So now I'm just looking at the different embellishments I have in my little tin on the right hand side of my desk and pulling out some other things just to add a little bit more oomph to this page. And I had these little fussy cut flowers that I cut from the paper pad, and I just added those on. I thought it gave a good contrast with the colors, that orange and yellow colors. Now I wanted to add the same burlap to the left hand side because it looked a little funny without it, so I just cut a little thin strip, did the same thing, pulled out some strings, and then I'm going to staple that to that strip of blue paper. And then I really like how it turned out, adding some more staples again, one because it attaches best, and two to mimic the staples from the right. I do end up covering up the staples, so it's really not a big deal, but I did want to make sure it kind of looked the same. And then I have this beauty piece that I cut out, fussy cut from the paper pad as well, and I'm going to staple that all together. That's going to ultimately end up being glued to the journaling card, and then I'm going to add another one of those fussy cut little tiny flowers, or 2 flowers, to the side again to pull it across from the other. And actually I'm doing 3 little flowers. I did my journaling, and that should be now glued down to the left hand side. And I believe the only thing I have left on this one, I think I add some enamel dots possibly, and I do add a date stamp. So I did try to use my ATG gun on this, and it actually worked pretty well, but I put, if you can see, a crap ton of glue on this side, and it ended up holding up real well. As far as I know, it hasn't fallen out of the album. I was looking through the other day and everything was sticking, so that's good. Now I am putting that date stamp on like I mentioned, again just using that foam and making sure I get a good impression on the date stamp. And of course my date stamp was dirty, even though I tried to clean it. It apparently wasn't quite clean enough, so my 5 has a little bit of color in it besides the yellow. No big deal. Moving on. I have other things to do. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Oh, and I didn't add enamel dots, so I was just kind of kept it a little bit more flat this time, if you want to call that layout flat. Now I wanted to mess with some of these stamps. I've been wanting to use these honeycombs, this honeycomb stamp for quite some time, and I was watching, oh, who was it? Oh, I cannot remember her name. Or no, her name is Hiba, but I can't remember her YouTube channel. Oh no. But anyway, I was watching Hiba, and she was doing her 30 Days of Thankfulness album, and she had this stamp as well. And I can't remember, well, I think she used this stamp, but she did something like this where she stamped kind of across the page. Instead of filling the whole entire page up with the stamp, she kind of just did it in some strategic spots. and I really like how it looks, so I did want to try that on my page, so I got some inspiration from her. Her channel is great. I would definitely check it out. If I remember, I'll try to put the link below. You might be able to find her. Oh, my little journal. I think it's My Little Journal. I'm almost positive. If it's different, I'll leave a comment below, but I'm pretty sure it's My Little Journal, and her name's Hiba. But she has some awesome YouTube videos, so I would definitely try to check her out. Now, I just didn't really like what that tab said. I think it said like blessings or something like that. So I ended up stamping Thinking of You, I believe, on a piece of paper and just trimming it out and then covering up that brown tab. And then I'm going to use a brown label for the date and then glue that all down. I punched out some of that blue wood grain paper with my little, what is it called, like a office-y kind of look punch. And then I'm just going to glue this all together, and it's going to tuck on the right hand side of this card. And I don't know if you've noticed, but basically my cards are kind of looking the same. I'm kind of doing some repetitive things. I put a lot of things maybe on the right hand side where it's like punched to give it some texture, things like that. So I'm kind of sticking with the same kind of theme in a way. It just helps keep the pages simple and easy. I don't try to do something completely different on every page, but I do try to mix them up. So I won't do the exact same look, 3 pages in a row, but I do kind of repeat the same ideas on multiple pages. So I'm just stamping this circle stamp and then November 2018. Again, these are stamps from the Feed Your Craft 30 Days of Thankfulness kit, or I'm not sure what they actually called it now, but it was a thankful kit. And then I thought that I needed some contrast between the circle and the pictures, so I punched out this brown paper, and then I'm also going to add some of that with a scalp on the right hand side just to bring those colors across the page. So I think here is where I just kind of finish up gluing everything together. I'm going to do some journaling on this. While I'm doing that, I just want to say thank you guys so much. I'm hoping you enjoyed the series. If you would like, I can do a flip through of the full album with the remaining pages. Just let me know in the comments below and give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love for you guys to be a subscriber of my channel so you can get the latest and the greatest of the videos that I put up. And yeah, so I just want to say thank you guys so much. I really enjoyed putting this album together, and I really enjoyed sharing it with you guys. So I will talk to you very soon again, probably with December Daily. Hopefully, cross your fingers. All right, bye guys.